Hello and greetings everybody. Welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So here we are back on day number 16 of the series we're running for the month of November, which is my favorite 30 rock albums from that year. So what we're doing is basically I'm just picking 30 albums. I had about 75. I narrowed it down to 30, which was a bit difficult to do because there was a whole bunch of stuff, especially near the bottom, that either was new to me, or not new to me, but I had a limited amount of listening to, or I had some a little bit more listening to, but they were all fairly close. So I had to narrow it out to a couple, and there was a couple I had on the bottom of the list, like 27th, 28th, that I didn't think they deserved it, so I took them out, and then I put two other albums in. And so that's really the only changes I've done so far. Most of the stuff on the upper end I've been pretty solid with for a fairly lengthy time. But this album that we're going to be doing today, for instance, for day number 16th, is an album that I've only listened to a couple times. Today was one of them, and then one other time when I was trying to decide on which albums to put in. And I thought this one's pretty solid. I don't think it's a top 5 album with this group, but it's definitely a good album. And we're talking about Blue Oyster Cult and their album Mirrors, which was released on June 19th, 1979 on the Columbia label. Same as Aerosmith on the Columbia label. So you basically have 9 tracks on this, sung by 4 different vocalists on this particular one. I'm trying to think of who wasn't singing on this. Eric Bloom sang on it, and Buck Dharma, and both the Bouchards, Joe and Albert Bouchard, both sang. So I'm not sure, I can't remember who the other one was. Anyways, really well done album. I think it's pretty clear, but it all sounds within the same range, where that's a bit unusual in itself for Blue Oyster Cult, because you got 5 different guys singing most of the time, and the songs usually sound very different. But I found this album maybe a little bit heavier than a lot of their albums, but it has some really good tracks on it. Dr. Music was one of my favorites. That's the opening track. This is a really heavy track. You know, this band used to be called a heavy metal band. I don't know if they have ever been a heavy metal band. Definitely a hard rockin' band at times, and this song is apropos for that. Then you've got the other one I like quite a bit, Mirrors with Rosier. This is kind of an up-tempo track with a pretty heavy riff to it, and Buck Dharma, of course, is singing this, so it's really quite good. You've got Virgil with Rosier, with Buck Dharma singing again. Another heavy guitar, really, really fast-paced, I think. The guitar part is fast-paced. Overall, the album is pretty strong. I don't know that it would make a top 5 BOC album for me, not yet, because it's only had a couple listens to. That just makes me aware of the different ranges of music. It doesn't really tell me much about any of the songs yet. I just found the album really good, pretty strong. No bad tunes, I don't think. I never heard anything too quirky from my listening to. I think it's a good album, definitely one that I would need to have on my playlist and to buy it actually. So it'll be one that I'll be looking for sure. That makes it about 200 now. So anyways, we have Blue Oyster Cult today, coming in on day 16. I believe it's day 16. Yep, day 16. For my 30 favorite albums from the year 1979. So if you want to put your favorites, you can do that, or if you got any questions, you can ask them. Anything about Blue Oyster Cult you think I might need to know, or or maybe you just want to have a chat about the songs in general, all of that stuff can go in the comments below. I'll try to answer it, as long as you stay away from insults, because as soon as I hear an insult, the person's just insulting me. They don't care to hear anything I have to say, so there's no point replying. So I don't. So at any rate, this is a really good album. Please like, please subscribe. It's much appreciated. Hit the bell if you want to be notified of the content coming up. And we will see you again tomorrow with another of my favorite 30 albums from the year 1979. Take care.